you can make a shit load of money in your career. What I mean by a lot of money, as an individual account executive, many of you guys have seen this because I showed the receipts on YouTube and I showed my W-2s from 2018, 2019, 2020, 2022, and so forth, right? I've been able to show you guys that. Many of you guys already know. But my highest individual year of being a person in tech sales was over $500,000 a year, guys. Over $500,000 a year. Can you believe that? Can you absolutely believe that? A man who, prior to that, his highest earning paycheck was potentially, or W-2 was potentially 275,000. And then you're able to make 540,000, 550,000, right? You double that. That's the big benefit of being in tech sales, guys. That's a huge benefit of being in tech sales. It's the fact that you can make a whole bunch of freaking money. And that's one of the biggest things for us. And I think that's important because of the fact that you don't want to be broke. When you're broke, you can't do stuff. I think about the times where I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have things like, car wash subscriptions. I pay probably about $80 in car wash subscriptions on a month because of the fact that I like my cars washed, right? I have a Mercedes, I have a Hyundai, I have a Lexus, and I have a Toyota Tundra. All those will cost $20 a month each to get my car washed at any point in time, anytime I want, right? And that's $80 a month that I can spend to keep my cars looking clean, to keep my wife's car looking clean, and so forth, right? Also, not only that, when you make a good amount of money, it filters itself down to other people. So I have 11 rental properties. I rent to specific people that look like me, right? So I'm helping them with a nice freaking home that they can call home, right? Rent is not expensive. Matter of fact, my property manager contacted me today and said, "Hey, Antoine, for your 510 and your 522 Millman buildings, we should talk about increasing the rents." And this is what I said to her. I said, "No, I am not going to increase the rents on them because I understand that we're below market at this point in time, but we're also in a state of the economy right now where I don't want to hurt anybody's pocket anymore. And since there are people that look like me, guess what? I can give them a break so that they can save more money in their pocket, right? They can save more money to do the things that they want to do in their life, right? So the ability for me to have money, my resources makes itself to other people, right? I'm able to help other people, the people that I hired to get ready to do my lawn to put sprinklers in because it's hot as hell down in Texas, right? I'm able to say, hey, I'm going to spend $7,000 to get my sprinkler system installed. They're hiring a whole bunch of other people, right, to do the install, right? Their company is getting money. They're able to employ a whole bunch of other people and so forth, right? Investing. I'm able to invest. I'm able to provide so much for my family. My daughter, who has, a heart condition, I'm able to give her the best health care. My son, I'm able to put him in any sort of sports, any private lessons. My wife, she's able to do whatever she needs to do to make sure that this family is comfortable. All that is important into, you making money. Otherwise, you won't be able to do any of that stuff. You won't be able to impact other people. You won't be able to, lead other people. Because if you're broke, you can't do it. The only thing broke people talk about is how rich people should spend their money. And they don't know how to spend money because, first of all, they don't know how to make money. And I'm going to tell you like this, right? The people who are making money, right, are the people who are impacting so much more people than the broke people are. And not even knowing it. Me just being able to spend $7,000 on getting my lawn sprinklers installed, it's helping multiple people because they got to hire people, maybe some kids that are, off for the summer, or they hire other people that, work for the business, but they were to put more dollars into that person's pockets to take care of their family and so forth. Right. So, guys, you don't want to be broke. That's the whole point. You don't want to be broke. So one of the best ways to not be broke is to get into tech sales. One of the best ways to not be broke is to get into tech sales because you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. Another one I would say is job mobility as well too. Since I went into tech sales, guys, I've been promoted 3 times. So if you're looking to move into, leadership positions, do more within your career, the tech sales is the place where you're going to get that visibility, because you know what leaders do? They go and look into their sales force and they say, hey, you know what? This is the revenue that's coming in. And that revenue is tied to somebody. It's tied to somebody, right? And they say, oh, that revenue is tied to Mr. Christian on here. Oh, that revenue is tied to Base Tourist on here who's talking about all the cons. He wants to hear about the cons. That revenue is tied to Base Tourist over here, right? And they say, you know what? That Base Tourist guy or gal brought in $2 million. Let me find out a little bit about Base Tourist. Oh, now Base Tourist has a husband or a wife. They're ambitious. They got kids. They want to do more within their career. Oh, wow. He's bringing in money like this. Let's promote him. Let's promote him to be a manager so that he can provide his knowledge to multiple people, and maybe we can boost overall sales, right? So it provides that job mobility as well too, guys. It provides that job mobility where you can climb the ladder fast. I'm talking about, I went from an individual contributor as an enterprise account executive to a principal managing partnerships. Within, 6 months of being a principal, I went to a VP, running an organization from a VP to a GM, reporting into our leadership team, right? That's what you can do in tech sales because you have that visibility, and people care about results in numbers. That's just what it is. This is what it is. And not only that, what other job can you work hard? So I'll give you an example. You're a project manager. Okay. You work 40 hours a week and you're getting paid $150,000. Well, if you work 80 hours a week, you're still getting paid $150,000. Sales is the only place where you can work harder and you're going to see that your money is going to grow with your level of effort. Right. Whereas most other jobs, you can work, hundreds of hours, but you're not going to get paid anymore. You're not going to get paid anymore at all. So let's talk about the cons now, tourists, based tourists, since you're asking about the cons. What are some of the cons of being in tech sales? It's stressful. When people see that you have an opportunity of $500,000 or $1 million, they're going to give you the help that you need, but that comes with a lot of responsibility as well. Because if you don't get that deal closed and the company's looking for it, you're kind of under the gun, right? At the end of the quarter, you don't have much of a life, meaning that I barely see my wife for days sometimes, right? Because I'm stuck in the office. I am in the office, heads down, stressed, right? Trying to get this contract out, working with my legal team, working with the procurement on the customer side, working with my product team, working with my implementation service. Calling the customer. You have to manage a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, you're really like somewhat of a puppet master, right? And if you are a person that doesn't have or handle stress very well, right, then it may not be a good role for you. So I'm gonna tell you like this: sales, a lot of pros. The cons are the fact that it is stressful. You can have a lot of burnout, right? You can get fired if you don't perform. Meaning that if you don't bring in revenue within 6 months in certain positions, or if, its sales cycles are a little bit longer, you don't bring in money, you're going to be under a high amount of stress and you're going to get fired. Okay. So those are some of the cons. But these are things that come with it, because most of these cons are no different than you being a project manager. Because you, Base Tourist, you can say, hey, you know what? Or Bass Tourist, however you call it, right? You can say, hey, I'm going fishing, right? But, driving a boat is stressful. It's all about how you deal with stress. Every single job has its cons. But I'm going to tell you like this: the benefits of being in tech sales far outweighs the cons that you have out there, specifically because the fact that you get to travel the world, the fact that you have job mobility and you have the visibility, the fact that you can make a shitload of money based on how much effort you put in. No other job, right? If you and Danny are sitting right next to each other and you're project managers and you work 80 hours over Danny, that's not going to show up in the compensation. Shouldn't it be that if you're working 80 hours and you're better than Danny, you should be making more money than Danny? Right? That's how it should be. It's no different than if you're a basketball player or a soccer player or a baseball player. If you're practicing more and you're performing more, you should get paid more. Well, that's what happens in sales. Any other role that's outside of sales, that's not the case. That's not the case. So people are going to, look at you like you're on the same playing field, knowing damn well that you're actually not. But in sales, you can see it. You can see it. You can smell it. You can smell the winners. You can smell the losers. Okay. So that's what I would say about that, guys.